professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a Scantron, pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber die trying. You see the thumbnail, man. When it's time to be a grown up. So for the younger audience, right? If you ever come across this, the thumbnail is actually the cartoon Riley and Huey from the Boondocks, and as them being college students using a different world, Dwayne Wayne and Ron. And you know, when online people talk about everything goes back to high school, but people don't go past that. Like that college age is when it's time to be a grown up, you know, and there are far more people who struggle with the success and failure of being just a grown up that it it's a hard pill to swallow for some. And what I mean by that is this: some people wanted to be grown before they were grown, and they didn't realize how irresponsible they were, because when it's all on them, and it's like, oh my God, you mean, you know, nobody's waking me up, nobody's making me breakfast, nobody's picking me up, nobody's dropping me off, nobody's telling me, hey, you don't forget to do that, make sure you do that. Nobody's looking over your shoulder and saying, hey, you know, nobody's giving you quote unquote all this encouragement. Nobody's disciplining you. Nobody's like, you messed up, you gotta pay. Now, you know, you gotta deal with all that with the world, right? And you're ill prepared. And then you got people who are ready. They're like, look, I already know. I'm ready to be out on my own. I'm gonna take, you know, I'm gonna take the good, the bad, the bumps and the bruises. You know, the clock, the alarm is set. I got the reminders set. You know, if I make a bad, if I make a bad move, I'm gonna pay for it. You know, there's nobody to call, and you see how that clashes. You see people go from their late teens. Sometimes I've seen people in their 30s and 40s who are still like working on being a grown. You know, it's like how did you not get that wrong? And it's like, well, I was doing this, I was doing that, I was doing this, blah blah blah. But when it's time to be a grown up, what are you gonna do with it? You know, what are you really gonna do with it? You know, some of y'all want to be grown. You know, how can I say this? I did a video of the young lady who got in a fight with the teacher over the phone. You know, when it's time to be a grown up, don't worry about it. You can have the phone. Let's see if you can pay the bill. You know, it doesn't matter that much when you can't pay the bill, right? You know, I remember my first week of college, they basically gave you the military speech. Look to your left, look to your right, you know, look to the front, look to the back. Two of the people you looked at ain't gonna be here next year. And a lot of that had to do with being an adult. You know what I'm saying? You know, I saw the people who were like, you know, I'm gonna take the minimum amount of classes. You know, so that was 12 hours, so that's 4 classes. You know, I'm gonna go at these. I'm not gonna get up early. I'm gonna get up as late as I want. I'm gonna do whatever I want, and then that went into them being a grown up. And I saw people just on their grind, and I saw people just, you know, grinding and hustling, and I saw people who had a plan and saw it through. Because when it's time to be grown, you know, it's on you. Like sometimes people, and the reason why I bring this up is this, because I got to say this part. I've never seen, well, I don't think I have. It was rare. I don't think I have though. I personally have never seen somebody be a rebellious, lazy kid. Like, but when I'm grown, I'm gonna watch how I snap and get it together, and then snap and get it together and actually be grown. Because oops, you know, it's sink or swim time. I haven't seen that. I saw a bunch of people have meltdowns and fail. You know, fail miserably, and I've seen families cut people off because sometimes your families, and I gotta say it this way, sometimes your family spoils you because you're stupid. You think it's because you get entitled because, oh, you if you ask they'll give it to you. They love you. No, they're just trying to protect you because you're dumb. That's why you got all that stuff, because if you got it, you wouldn't do anything stupid. And then now, but the problem is you never smartened up. So then the family's like, you know what, I've done enough for you. You're gonna have to figure it out. You're gonna have to call yourself. You're gonna have to bail yourself out. You're gonna have to pick yourself up. You're gonna have to wake yourself up. Because when it's time to be a grown up, it's a whole different thing. And on top of that, um, the view is different in the sense of once you're at that age and in that space where this is your path to make sure you're grown, the people who once viewed you as a child are gonna view you as a grown up. So it's like, nah, I can't do that for you. You grown. You got to do that. You got to do that. I need you to do that. That's not for me to do. I'm grown. Like, I think one of the hardest transitions I've seen is when you have grown ups, like grown folks, having to tell a young person who's now you're a young adult, that look, I got grown up stuff too. I'm not asking you with my grown up stuff. Don't ask me with your grown up stuff. And a shock, because it was all, you was a kid just a week ago, and but you couldn't wait just a week ago, and now you gotta double and triple back. Um, it's messed up, but I say God helps people who help themselves, and so does family and friends. But when it's time to be a grown up, what will you actually do? Is it all play, or is it all work? Is it a balance of both? Because at that point, it's all on you. When it's all on you, you're the one who has to, to see it through. But anyway, I didn't mean to rhyme, but whatever. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take you.